What is cell imbalance? How does it affect the performance of battery? In this short video, we are discussing about cell imbalance, the reasons for cell imbalance, and a few techniques for cell balancing. A group of cells are connected together to have high capacity and voltage for batteries in many applications. An electric vehicle battery has a typical voltage of 200 to 800 volts. Electric scooters and electric rickshaws have low voltage batteries. A number of 4.2 volt lithium ion cells are connected together to form high voltage batteries. If they are connected in series, it adds up the voltage. The parallel connection of the cells increases the capacity, keeping the voltage constant. Cell balancing is the process of keeping voltage of individual cells equal in a battery to get maximum out of the battery. First of all, let's look into the reasons of cell imbalance. The following are the main reasons why the voltages of cells in a battery pack are different. First one is the difference during manufacturing. A minor variations in the capacity of the battery, internal resistance, and thermal characteristics during the manufacturing affects the balance of the battery. The second point is the internal resistance variation. The internal resistance of lithium-ion battery depends on many factors such as temperature, cell chemistry, and voltage of the battery. The differences in internal resistance results in cell imbalance. The third factor is temperature distribution. Lithium-ion batteries are highly sensitive to the temperature. The charging and discharging of battery emits heat energy. If the temperature distribution is uneven, it affects the internal resistance of the battery. The rate of the chemical reactions in a battery depends on the temperature. It imbalances the battery. The fourth point is the differences in initial capacities. The battery management system stops the charging of the battery if any of the cells reaches its maximum capacity. If there is a difference in the initial capacity of the battery, the BMS allows to charge the battery until any of the cells reaches its maximum capacity. It prevents the other cells to fully charge. Slight variations in the initial capacities of the cells affect the balance of the battery. Fifth one is aging effect. As the battery ages, the capacity fades. The rate of capacity fades might not be same in all the cells. Cell imbalance is the result. The normal reactions in a battery are reversible reactions, but some irreversible reactions also happen at the electrodes of the battery, and it accumulates a compound at electrode-electrolyte interface. The compound is called SEI, solid electrolyte interface. While manufacturing the battery, a thin SEI is usually formed, and it prevents the exposure of active lithium ions and the electrode materials to the electrolyte. However, as time goes by, the SEI begins to grow and interact with more electrode and lithium ions to progressively degrade the battery. Sixth point is the difference in rate of self-discharge. Self-discharge is a phenomenon in batteries in which internal chemical reactions reduce the stored charge of the battery without any connection between the electrodes or any external circuit. The self-discharge rate will not be equal in all the cells, so there are possibilities of cell imbalance in lithium-ion batteries. How does the unbalanced cells affect the performance of the battery? The variation of capacities of each cell results in the following in a lithium-ion battery. First one, thermal runaway. The difference of voltages of cells results in overcharging of some cells. The cells will not be charging at recommended voltage due to imbalance. The possibility is more when the cells are connected in series. Finally, there are the chances of thermal runaway in a lithium-ion battery. Another problem caused by unbalanced cells is battery degradation. If one or two cells in a battery pack have lesser capacity, then the charging results in high voltage in those cells. The overcharging causes faster degradation of the battery. It is a cumulative effect. The degradation causes overvoltage during charging and it further degrades the cell. Incomplete charging of the battery pack. If one or two cells in a battery pack lose their capacity, it will not allow the whole battery pack to completely charge. The battery management system disconnects the battery from charging circuit if at least one of the cells gets fully charged. Incomplete discharge of the battery. The battery would not discharge completely if one of the cells has capacity lesser than that of all other cells. The lower capacity cells discharge faster and it prevents the further operation of the battery. So we would not get the maximum out of the battery. Cell imbalance is not easy to prevent. The only method to get rid of the disadvantages of unbalanced battery is external cell balancing. There are 4 types of cell balancing: passive cell balancing, active cell balancing, lossless cell balancing, and redox shuttle. Passive cell balancing. The simple and less expensive method for cell balancing is the passive cell balancing. Complex set of algorithms are not used in passive cell balancing, but the method of passive cell balancing is less efficient. The following are different types of passive cell balancing. Charge shunting. Dummy load resistors are connected to all series cells to discharge the excess charge in the battery if necessary to balance the cells in this method. The resistors connected to dissipate the excess energy is known as blading resistors. The resistors are connected to each cells through static MOSFET switches. The controller measures the voltage across each cells and turns on switches to discharge those cells that have excess voltage. The resistor dissipates the energy as heat and makes the voltage of all the cells equal. As we mentioned earlier, this is an inefficient method for cell balancing. The energy in the battery is being dissipated in this method. Another drawback of charge shunting is that the MOSFET carries all the discharge current, and the discharge current is limited to the capacity of the MOSFET. External FET connections are also provided sometimes in this method to reduce the discharge time, making it more current to flow through it. Charge limiting. Another passive cell balancing technique in lithium-ion battery is charge limiting. This is also an inefficient method of cell balancing. In this method, the charging of the battery stops when at least one of the cells reaches its maximum voltage. All the other cells need not be at the maximum SOC when the charging stops, so we cannot use the battery at its maximum capacity. The controller continuously monitors the voltage of each cell. What happens during discharging? The controller stops the discharging when at least one of the cells reaches its minimum SOC level. All other cells might not be completely discharged by that time, and it limits the optimal use of the battery. Since this method is inexpensive, it is widely used for the applications where there are possibilities to charge the batteries frequently. Active cell balancing. Active cell balancing is more efficient than passive cell balancing. In this method, the excess charge in one cell transfers to another cell that has a low charge to equalize the voltage of the cells. Inductors and capacitors are the commonly used components for active cell balancing. Let's have a look at the most commonly used active cell balancing techniques. Flying capacitors. The method, that also known as charge shuttles, use capacitors to transfer charge from high voltage cell to low voltage cells. Once the controller detects mismatch of voltage in cells, the single pole double throw switch connects and charges the capacitor from high voltage cells. Then the switch connects the charged capacitor to low voltage cell to charge it and equalize the cell voltages. In this method, the charge from the cells having higher voltage transferred to the lower voltage cells by use of inductors and static switches. MOSFET switches connects and disconnect inductor to the cells and transfers energy from high voltage cells to low voltage cells. Flyback buck-boost converter cell balancing requires a transformer and it adds up the total expense of the system. Lossless cell balancing. This is a method in which the total number of components is less, hence the total cost for this system. A matrix switch circuit helps out here to connect and disconnect individual cells during charging and discharging. The cells with high voltages gets disconnected from the circuits during charging and the cell voltages get equalized. Similarly, it disconnects the low voltage cells in the battery during discharging. There are some other methods also to do cell balancing. For example, redox shuttle technique. The cell imbalance is not that prominent in other battery technologies, so techniques are being developed to alter the chemistry of lithium-ion batteries to minimize the cell imbalance. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, tap the like button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to get notified when I publish another interesting video about electric vehicle.